Hello, I'm just going to drivel on a bit tonight because I don't have any real central thing to talk about. You can probably detect it's freezing here, but none of us wants to put heating on for more than a couple of hours. So again, I'm as dull as it is. I'm going to have another ramble about YouTube's bloody algorithms, which have stuffed me viewing hours wise. You press on, don't you? Anyway, on that subject, I noticed a couple of days ago, suddenly I got this unexpected, I won't say a surge, but 2 or 3 views in the course of a day, or maybe slightly more, but yeah, a few views in the course of a day on something that it's not one of my big draws. It's really maybe pulled in about 70 views in over a year. It's been there a few years, but averaging maybe 70 views in a year. So for it to suddenly get a few during the course of a day, I thought maybe those algorithms they've slightly favoured me there, but no. What I realised was it's my video from probably 3 years ago on it's a book that was a Brookside tie-in, the Great British Soap Opera. It's sadly no longer existing now, but there was a tie-in book which was by Rachel Braverman, which took the form of the personal diaries during the course of various storylines in the mid-90s of Brookside, of a character that was known as Bing Crosby, David Bing Crosby, and thought eventually sort of pieced together the reason people were landing on it was because the David Crosby, the musician, the ex, of the Byrds and Crosby, Stills, Nash and so on, had passed away last week, and people were erroneously landing on my Brookside video for that reason. I can't imagine they stuck around long, but anyway, I kind of did have in the that R.I.P. David Crosby. Obviously, I'm not a big expert on his music, but it would be a stony heart that didn't like the Byrds, wouldn't it? Anyway, so what else is happening? I've had a request, which is nice. You don't get I haven't had a lot of this, but it's nice that people engage. That's got to be a good thing. This is from Voyager 2, who has suggested I take a look at Len Deighton's The Ipcris File, and it's one that I don't think I can't remember reading the book before. It's possible, maybe as a teenager, and I've kind of somehow forgotten, but I have seen the film a long time ago, so I'll be going in fairly cold with it, but I have dutifully located both formats. I guess I think I'll probably have to read the book first, then look at the film and see how they stack up against each other. I remember enjoying the film. It's Michael Caine in one of those gritty, I guess it's a 60s thing, is it? Something, yeah, that sort of flavour to it. And it had its own particular. I probably shouldn't ramble on about this too much until I actually do the thing, should I? I'm not doing it now. I'm just saying I'm going to do it. So why don't I keep it brief? Anyway, thank you, Voyager 2, for the suggestion. And don't let me forget. You know what I get like. Me and my good intentions. Anyway, other than that, very, very brief. Can't really call it a buying trip, but I was out around the shops today and came back with a couple of things. First of which, this graphic is so familiar to me from childhood. I think this this image would, I would just have encountered it in every newsagent and every W.H. Smith anywhere around a point in the, during my childhood. We're talking 70 something. I've seen the film, I can't remember when, it was all relatively recently. Anyway, from what I remember of the film, I'm not sure this graphic actually represents it terribly appropriately or sensitively. I mean, this graphic, it would seem to promise a level of titillation which, as far as I recall it, is rather at odds with what the film was about, or the tone of the film. I know the film did get slated in some quarters as being exploitative, but this picture taken on its own would seem, what does that picture say to you? I think this was initially titled Arrow in the Sun, incidentally. I think this must have been a reissue to tie in with the film, which I believe featured the music of Buffy St. Marie to the soundtrack. And the only other thing I picked up today, and I don't know why I can't just pass these by. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but there it is. Late in the series, Sven Hassel. I mean, 1982, I think this was the penultimate novel. I think he was pretty low on ideas at this stage. I kind of delved into first few pages. I read it at the time. I think even at that age, I think this appeared just at the point where I was kind of slightly over Sven Hassel. I think I was at that age where I wouldn't say my critical faculties had developed particularly, but they'd kind of moved past this type of fiction. I don't know. I don't have the stomach for this tonight. But why do I do it to myself? Because it was £4 fucking. Anyway, that's me.